Today we're going to talk about developmental delay. Okay, now this is primarily for kids and for parents that have kids with developmental delay disorders. When we talk about it, it's basically what it says. It's a delay in their development. Okay, so children, they develop through stages, right? First they roll, right? Then they crawl like a salamander. Then they creep, hands and knees, and then they walk. Well, that all takes place in about a year, and those, if you think that's about 3 months for each stage, okay, so the first 3 months of life, they roll. Now this rolling stage activates pathways and reflexes for proper development. So if they don't roll properly, then that's a developmental delay. And rolling is controlled by the medulla, basically. It's a very early primitive reflex, and the medulla secretes serotonin. Okay, and a lot of the serotonin comes from the gut, about 80% of it. Then the other 20% comes from the medulla. So we know that these kids that don't roll tend to have gut issues, right? They're colicky and stuff. So that's why we came up with the whole rocking and stuff. That's sort of stimulation of these pathways. So the next stage is crawling. And crawling is like an army man or a salamander, where they're on their belly and they're crawling like this. That develops the pons. Now the pons is the part just above the medulla, which regulates head movements and eye movements in the horizontal plane. So at 3 months of age, a kid can see now. Their eyes are clear, and then they're looking around and they're developing their ability to mobilize themselves. The pons secretes acetylcholine, right? And these kind of activate and wake you up, okay? The next stage of development is the mesencephalon, and the mesencephalon sits just above the pons. It secretes dopamine, and it's developed when they start to creep, which is hands and knees, when they start to, what most people think is crawling. It's called creeping in neurology. Now, that is the stage of dopamine, right? And we've all heard the term dopey, right? Well, we don't want a dopey kid, so we want to make sure our kids did some creeping for a few months so they don't have these big pupils and look like they're on a dopaminergic drug, okay? Now, the last stage is walking, okay? And walking is the brain, not the midbrain or brainstem, it's the brain. So it takes a good brain to walk. So we notice that when we're older and demented, we're not very good at walking. So we want to make sure we have healthy brains to start. So a developmental delay is not good. So we want to make sure that we develop properly. So if you look at these developmental stages, you have reflexes that are also in the developmental stages. And if you test these reflexes and they're positive, then you know that they're not developing properly. Now, we give you these strategies if you bring your kids into our office. We test the children for these reflexes, and then we show the parents how to test these reflexes so that you can be a better advocate, a caregiver for your kids at home. Right? Our job is to show you what's wrong and fix it as quick as possible. But that cannot be done alone. The parents have to be involved when it comes to kids, because these are things we have to do daily, observations daily, exercises daily, and if you don't do them daily, you're not going to get there. Okay, so it's nice to understand some of these. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot else that goes on, but I just wanted to bring this out, that the first year of life is very important for the development of the brainstem, okay, and midbrain. Then when the brain starts to develop, we get into a whole lot of processes. The right brain develops first for social skills and big picture, and autistics don't have this, right? ADD and ADHD, they have a hard time with this too. So we'll get into that in other videos when we talk specifically about autism or ADD, ADHD, Asperger's, which is a mix of the two, or dyslexia, which is more of a left brain disorder versus right brain. But just wanted to update you on the development and the delay of that development that you may be seeing in your child, okay? Hope you observe better with this knowledge.